Hi everybody, welcome to this opening round and also of course weekend round back 9 guide, Korean Classic Tournament Expert Division. A thumb up would be massively appreciated and make sure you're subscribed if you've not subscribed already. It is totally free. Get the bell button switched on, something exciting being revealed on the channel next week as well, so you don't want to miss that one. Good amount of drops here, tweak as needed, take some tokens along the way as well and adapt any of the suggestions here according to your clubs, balls and play style. Good luck, here we go. This is a nasty wind angle here. I'm going aggressive with a Berserker. However, with an APOC 4, you might be in danger of not reaching here, so I would recommend you try with a higher wind resistance ball. But with APOC 5 plus, we're going here with the bullseye just onto the island there, top of plus 11, 5.8 top spin, 2 left spin, aiming left of the fairway as shown there. Going to adjust max plus 10 but power 3 settings. Alternatives for APOC 4 users, you could try going with an extra mile 8 or 9, but obviously you have much less accuracy, so be warned about that one. This does take us into overpower. Regardless of that, we've got to go max overpower all the way. Obviously, with a more wind resistant ball, then you will have an easier time on this one. There's plenty of other routes available as well. But if you want to go for it, there is a reference shot. We'll leave you a nice Endbringer School wedge, 20%. Obviously, there is some shaky needle there on the Max OP drive, but that wedge played for me 74% slider. NMT drive here, a very nasty wind angle. We're going to add spin. We're going with 1.8 backspin and 2.1 right spin. Weird spins, but it's been working nicely for me. So NMT, just add your spins, adjust rings, and off you go. Mid plus 15, power 3 settings, and I would like you always to use Grizzly 9 numbers. I've not tested this in higher Kingmaker winds, so if you don't have any wind 4 balls available, then I would advise you to go with a practice token just to test in case you need to put any spin tweaks in. I would hate you to have King Wind and then come up massively short or not make it over. So just take a token if you are worried, but there's a nice reference drop right at the pin. On the drive here, going to play on the left-hand side, red ring touching the rough at the top of plus 10 with APOC 5 and 6. APOC 4 will be at P3 max rest with 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough. 5.8 top spin and 1 bar side spin to the left. Adjust max plus 10, power 3. Ring reference for APOC 7, you will have 80% of the blue ring inside the rough because you've got better accuracy, therefore your rings are smaller. 6.4 rings for me, but obviously always measure yourself and use your wind apps. Full overpower, it is a little bit of a shaky needle though, so if you want to go with a higher power ball to give yourself a slower tempo needle, then by all means do so. APOC 4 obviously will have a full shaky needle, unfortunately, but we make it over there. It's tweakable if you want to, of course, and drive distance around 395. Going with a standard bounce down here, 4.5 backspin, 2 bars right spin. This will need a tweak on the aim though. It's quite difficult to find a good offset with the ball guide because you have to kind of count green squares away from the pin, and judging the angle of the shot is a bit tricky as well. But I'm looking at having the second bounce just before the end of the fringe where it meets the green. Ball guide, as you can see here, looking along that angle is about 3 green squares short. However, I just missed this one to the right hand side, so I would nudge it a couple of clicks left, but only a fraction. I'm playing landing position plus yards, 10% elevation. Plus 3, I'm going 78% slider. I decide to push rings to adjust here. It's never ideal, especially if you're like me, and not really a huge fan of pushing rings, but otherwise the trees can be in the way and it just eliminates a bit of guesswork if you end up pushing rather than trying to cope with the trees. Use sniper 10 numbers. Like I said, a little tweak needed to the aim on this one, but it comes in nicely with a good speed, and we just miss on the right hand side of the cup on this par 5. Nasty wind angle here, but we've got to drop with an NMT tee shot. So we are going with 0.9 backspin. It's 1 click less than 1 backspin and 1.1 left spin. Again, very odd spins, but it's working nicely, and this is a very nasty hole. It will need some tweaks as well, but even in 8.4 wind, this has worked very nicely for me. So NMT, set your spins, adjust rings, and off you go. We're going mid plus 25, power 4 settings. You can see that takes me to +7. So sniper 10, obviously that is. With sniper 9 you'd be at +9, so you're still within your club distance without going into overpower. Make sure you use sniper 10 numbers on this one. It will need some wind angle tweaks if you've got the time and the patience for it. Otherwise, you'll be close, if not in, and just be happy with a birdie. As you can see, just dropping there for me, very tough hole. Going aggressive with a Titan here, and setting up with APOC 5+, bullseye in the middle of that fairway section there at P3 max rest. 5.8 topspin, 2 right spin. Of course, if you've got topspin boost balls, you can blast to green here. I'll leave that one to you. Going to adjust max +5 here. Now, it may take you off the edge of the cliff in higher wind. If you get higher wind than 9.8, I would really recommend you go with the Kingmaker. But I like the wind between 9 and 10, really, because a Titan gives me a slower needle speed. Going with 3/4 ball curl to the right, max OP. APOC 4, you would need to stretch out 1.7 rings into overpower to find your position, and then after you adjusted, you would then need to push up 1.7 rings to match the distance. Write down your drive distance, 436 yards. Now this one in the second shot was taken from a different drive of 438, so that's why the numbers don't match. But we're going with 1 bar of backspin and aiming with the ball guide 1 cup short of the hole. For a drive of 438, I'm playing this one 28% slider, 25% elevation, and we're going to pull over the bullseye. It's 2% per yard, so if you drove 440, you would play 24% slider. If you drove 437, you'd try 30% slider. So 2% per yard, hitting perfect, and we're dropping nicely for an albatross with a Titan. We've had this wind angle before, so I'm reusing an old shot here. We're going with a luminary. I would recommend you go with a luminary. It makes it a whole lot easier. 3.5 top spin, 2 left spin. P5 max rest, half of the blue ring inside the rough on the right with APOC 5 and 6. May need to improvise slightly with APOC level 4, unfortunately, as we are at max distance. APOC 5 and above, though, we're going to go max +10, P5, takes me into overpower. You can see 5 rings of OP there. I'm going to go full beans, max overpower, 3/4 ball curl to the left. This is a very aggressive route, of course, though. If you don't have a luminary and an APOC 5+, I would just suggest that you lay up instead and try and find a short iron to pin. Doing a double bounce safely onto the green. If you've got a bit more topspin, you might even get a hole in one here. Very nasty wind angle, but there's an aggressive eagle. If you're enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to support that and help keep it free, we've launched a brand new patreon.com homepage. There is the link. There are lots of perks if you want to become a member over there. All support of the channel is massively appreciated, and it will help, of course, to continue to provide the Golf Clash content here for you. So please go and check that out over at patreon.com/BK Golf Clash. Before spin, I've turned my camera round here to the side-on view, and I'm going to set up with the white ring with the grizzly touching the rough and sand at the same time. Then we are going to add our spin. Going with a Kingmaker, 5 backspin and 3 bars left spin. Okay, 5 back, 3 left. Nice tailwind angle. We do have to play with some curl here, though, and that's going to be the important thing to get this shot to drop, unless, of course, you've got a higher side spin ball available. Mid +10, power 4 settings, 1 pull over the bullseye. 8.4 is keeping me at 10 rings. Any longer than that, obviously, you've got to do 2 pulls. So mid +10, P4, grizzly 9 numbers, and I'm going here with, you can call it 0.6 ball curl. Try and pause the video, take a screenshot there. Might need a wind angle tweak or two, but a very nice reference hole in one sneaking in there. 1-to-1 drive here, starting with the quarterback, and I'm going to add spin. So I go with 5 top spin and 2 left spin. However, in the end, I actually changed to the rock, and that is going to reduce my spin because I realised I would adjust into overpower here. White ring touching the rough on the left at the top of +4. Then I do a club switch to the rock, and obviously that's going to knock the top spin back, which I hadn't unfortunately realised. But if you've got the same level rock as me, which is a rock level 8, that will work nicely. So it will automatically jump you back to max topspin with the rock level 8, because I don't want to use overpower. It's a 1-to-1 adjustment here. So if you've got rock level 9 with more topspin, you might need to just dial it back there. Apologies for the confusion, but I just thought I didn't want to use overpower with the quarterback. 1-to-1 adjustment though, it's a simple layup drive, and we've got a nice drop with the thorn. And rolling nicely down the fairway there, we're going to be in the region of 320 yards. Second shot, make a blue ring fringe check. So top of the blue ring, touching the beginning of the fringe, in line with the pin, where the fringe meets the green. Then I have the blue ring touching the beginning of the fringe at the front of the green with the ball guide through the hole. And then I add spin as needed. It's going to be a little bit of backspin, maybe a click of right spin. But I want to have the ball guide going over the right edge of the cup, and the tip of the ball guide is about 1 green square past the pin. For a +4 blue ring fringe check at the back of the green, going 20% slider, 5% elevation, and we're going to pull this one over the bullseye. 2% per yard, so if you're at +3 with your check, you would play 18% instead. +5, you'd play 22%. Centre the ball and hit perfect, and this is going to be a good chance for an eagle here on this par 4. Even though we can't really send it with this headwind, still a very good chance for a -2. Going with the quarterback setup here to start with, white ring touching the rough on the left at the top of +10 yards, and we're swapping to APOC and Grizzly bag. Adding spin next, 4.5 top spin and 3 left spin. You don't need to use a precision ball. I was just using one here to get over a bad case of the grates as I was finishing up here. I'm going to adjust max +10 power 3, which is going to be for me 6.4 rings, and then it's time to take our shot. We're going to go with some left curl to swing the ball round nicely, and you can see here I'm using 1 ball of curl to the left just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Hit perfect, nice and easy to do with my precision 5 ball, but also very manageable with a free to play as well. Bouncing nicely here, right down your drive yardage. You're going to need it for the second shot to help you, and here we are at 345 yards. Little aim tweak needed here. I would like you to aim further right, but I like the speed of this one. I'm going with 0.2 backspin and 3 right spin. I'm aiming deliberately to the right of the pin because look at that wind angle. It's going to push us quite dramatically to the left. Here I end up just shunting it a little bit further to the right, but it's still not enough. You can see there, tip of the ball guide just inside the dark green square column. I would go actually into the light green square column, so just into that would be my suggested tweak. The slider I'm using here, 42%, and playing 15 elevation, using Grizzly 9 numbers. Now, because we are just downhill, I add 2 clicks of overpower here, so I'm centering the ball, then I'm going down 1, 2 clicks, so you'll just see it overlap the bottom teeth, just to safeguard from being short. So I would recommend you do that as well. Like I said, tweaking the aim will get you a little bit closer and hopefully in for an albatross on this par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.